Welcome to this day in the life. Today I'm going to be doing some errands, watching somebody cook, and then they'll meet the newest member of our family as we have a family dinner this evening. So this day actually started off with me waking up at the hospital. I had worked 24 hours, but I had gotten a good amount of sleep, and so I had considered not taking a nap. Found time is always good so I can get some errands done, but I did want to start the morning off a little slowly. I had this delicious English muffin from one of our local bakeries, and then Maggie and I relaxed on the couch. As I was getting up to get the day underway, I noticed some chopping coming from the kitchen, which isn't a normal sound for this time of morning. I went in to find Tracy cooking. I am so lucky that she loves to cook because I don't, but she was making Bœuf Bourguignon today, so I've decided to film her cooking it, and I'm going to bring you that recipe and some other tips that she wanted me to pass along to you. We enjoyed this throughout the winter, so maybe you could also enjoy it as we say goodbye to these last few days of winter. It's important to dry the meat so when you cook it in the Dutch oven, it browns instead of steams. After the bacon is done and it's been removed with a slotted spoon, cook the meat in batches, making sure there's lots of room so you get a nice sear on each side. Add the carrots and vegetables and cook for about 20-25 minutes with adding the garlic in the last minute. Now this is my favorite part, not because it's cognac, but because there's fire. And I always get a little disappointed. I expect like a bigger flame, but the alcohol burns off completely, and then you add back the meat with all the juices. Then add a whole bottle of wine of quality that you would drink, Pinot Noir or Côte d'Aron or any other kind of dry red wine. Then just cover with enough beef broth and stick it in the oven at 250 degrees for about 2.5 to 3 hours, depending on how soft you want the meat. It could be less, but if you want that really tender, kind of melt in your mouth meat, then cook it for 2.5 to 3 hours. Once that was done, we were going to have some lunch, which was leftover soup from the day before. It's a really good, low-calorie, filling chicken soup, and there's pumpkin puree in it, which is unusual. If you want the recipe, let me know. Time to head off and do some errands. The first stop is the UPS store. On this mid-February day, these trees are the first signs of spring arriving. I had some wine to pick up at our favorite winery, and I always like to check on the construction they have going on over at the caves. Not that I can go in or anything, but when this is done, it's going to be pretty amazing. February is mustard season in Napa Valley, and it's one of my favorite seasons. Well, okay, so they're all my favorite, but you can see these beautiful, bright, sunny little flowers also as another welcome to springtime. And since I was just doing errands in a leisurely pace today, I decided to stop by Michael's and Home Goods to see what they had, and I was able to pick up a couple of things. I was able to find a couple of really cute toddler books. And while we weren't lucky enough to have kids of our own, my brother and his family and their 20-month-old daughter moved to town last month. And so we are spending a lot of time being the cool aunties, and I hope that she is having some great memories. We have a little cabinet for her. She knows exactly where it is, and her toys and musical instruments are in there for her to play with when she visits. She loves the beef and rice that her auntie makes especially for her. Now, I don't know where I was during the last part of the Bœuf Bourguignon making, but after you take it out of the oven, you stir in some flour and butter as a thickener, and then if you're going to add sautéed mushrooms, you add it at this time. We just don't care for mushrooms, so we don't do that. When dinner was over, 4 out of the 5 cats were waiting for us in the living room. So earlier in the day I had put all the sheets in the wash and then I forgot about them, so I needed to make the bed and head to bed because I had to work 24 hours the next day. If you are still here, I have to give you a huge shout out and a big thumbs up because you're my people. I didn't know this when I first started this YouTube journey, but apparently most people don't get to the end of videos. So if you're still here, thank you so much for being here. We're gonna one day look back on these old videos and say, remember when? So thank you so much for being here. My next video is going to be a tour of 3 wineries, and I'll link it up here as soon as it's ready. So thank you again, and I'll see you real soon.